Good morning. There's a halacha when it comes to our Amidah that is about to change as of tonight. And that is, as of tonight, we're going to start praying instead of Barechenu, Barech Alenu. Why? How come? So let's just very quickly give a quick summary and explanation why. In Eretz Yisrael, already from Zayin Heshvan, which is 15 days after Sukkot ends, on the 15th day, then they already switched to Barech Alenu. And the reason for this being is because even though really right after Sukkot starts the season of rain, however, to give enough time for people to travel back to out of town where they would come from, again, yesteryear people traveled by foot, by donkey, horse, camel, it would take no longer than 2 weeks to get home. So Chachamim gave 2 weeks to get home before starting to ask for rain. Very nice if you lived in Jerusalem, you could ask for rain the next day. But what about ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha? Love your brothers, your fellows like yourself. They wouldn't enjoy being rained on traveling back home. And therefore, there's that delay. However, in Chutz La'aretz, outside of Israel, we wait all the way until what's called the 60th day after the season change of Tishrei. 60 days prior from tomorrow is the day which is the beginning of the season change for the winter. However, it's just the beginning, and Chachamim said 60 days later is when rain needs to be asked for. And that's why it always falls out based on a Gregorian calendar, on a solar calendar, and not the Jewish calendar, which is a combination between the solar and the lunar. Since it's only dependent on the solar system, meaning on the solar months, days, and system of calculation, that's why it normally falls out to be December 5th, which would mean tonight, December 4th, at night, worldwide, except for Eretz Yisrael. Now, the reason for the distinction is because Jerusalem and Israel as a whole is very much desert land, a lot of mountains, and in order to promote vegetation and the growth of fruits and vegetables and everything else needed, obviously more rain is needed, and that's why in Eretz Yisrael they start 2 weeks after the holiday. In Chutz La'aretz, where it needs less, we wait until 60 days after the season change of Tishrei. And that's why we start with it tonight. If someone, by mistake, started doing Barech Alenu beforehand, there's no need to redo the Amidah. For example, if yesterday someone mixed up, they already thought last night, or yesterday, or even this morning is the time to do Barech Alenu, still one has fulfilled their Halacha and their obligation of praying, although officially tonight is when we start Barech Alenu. It is something which is an absolute requirement for the Amidah, that if one did not say Barech Alenu, they will have to redo their Amidah. B'ezrat Hashem tonight at Mincha, we'll go through the exact procedure. If one misses Barech Alenu, how do they make it up, when you need to redo the Amidah, and when not. B'ezrat Hashem, that's tonight. Tonight Mincha is going to be at 5 p.m.